Mac D and HD. We got Kevin Gardner, man. See if we can get us something like yeah. Mac D and HD, man.
This is one of the songs from my album called The Credit Century. Hustling, oh yeah, yes, was the kind of life that I was done. Oh, I'm having dreams about me being on top. Reality was hating on me, trying to reach that spot. I thought to myself, but it didn't ever make, because of the disease of brokenness was hard to shake. I just hope it wasn't gonna be for long, because life was sad enough to sing a hymn song. Gracious Lord, lead me on to see some brighter days, cause the struggling had me in a world of praise. Hustling, yes, oh, it was the kind of life that was known. When will I ever get over this? Struggling, yeah, yes, was the kind of life that was known. Hustling. All right. Yeah, so definitely this is from the E40 joint, the In a Major Way. So out of that came 3 other platinums. So
Yeah, 3 other plat. This is the Inner Major Way one.
yes.
Okay, what other platinum one?
Hall of Game.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And the click after that.
Okay, all right then. Now what we got over here, man? Who is that?
And over here we got the Arium Sisters.
Right. Oh, they're beautiful, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. And,
Are they local?
They are local. They're from Renton.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, definitely some young girls putting it down, man.
Where can they find these young ladies' work, man?
Well, I put it this way: they do a lot of touring. You know?
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, man. So back to like the movie projects that you were talking about, you have, man. That sounds like some interesting stuff, man. Which
Oh yeah, one fun project. I got to collaborate with Stone Gossard of Pearl Jam, and we did the Replacement Killers with the John Woo
wow.
type deal. So that was pretty cool too.
Yeah,
be involved in the action type deal. So
as a matter of fact, I'm gonna go home and check that out
yeah,
tonight,
for
man.
sure, man.
Just because I know that you're involved in the,
oh
the
yeah,
project.
for sure,
you
for
know,
sure.
if there's somebody that you would like to work with that you haven't worked with,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Who actually would that be, man? Is there anybody out there that you've been kind of eyeing on the, you know what I'm saying, seeing what they're doing, and you'd like to work with them?
That's a very good question. I wanted to pretty much work with like the Eric Benet's and the D'Angelo, people like that, and then all the way over to even like a Chris Brown.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is they cover different ranges, but I like the Eric Benet's, and they have those. They pretty much bring you back to those old classic.
Soul roots.
Oh, exactly. They remind me of what we were growing up to, and that feel good music. So that's what I love about that. And of course, when it comes to, of course, I would love to work with, my all-time music favorite, like a Stevie Wonder. That would be like a dream come true. I grew up listening to his music, obviously, just like many other people. And then, of course, Chris Brown. He's like a modern-day young Michael Jackson. I love his energy. I like his music, how it, he covers ranges from, fast tempo, slow, medium, different things like that. And so,
yeah, man. We used to, back in the day, man. We used to think that you was gonna be the next Stevie Wonder.
All right, man.
Because of the fact that the way that you could handle the instruments, and you know what I'm saying. Back at that time, you were a prodigy, bro. Nobody back then or nobody around that we knew of was doing it like you was doing it when it came to the music, man. So who was one of your major inspirations, man, as you was coming up, that you kind of looked at and says, okay, this is one of the, you know what I'm saying, the people that really kind of like inspired you?
I mean, definitely, if you go back to Stevie Wonder again, Stevie Wonder was an inspiration because that music, that melody, it just really drove me. And then, of course, there were the groups like the George Clinton, the Parliaments. So when you hear the funk in my music and some of the, and some of the funk that I put down in some of the E40 cuts is definitely, without a doubt, inspired from Bernie Worrell, keyboard player for Parliament and everything like that, who really got me on that tip. Even more so is as I was more onto the R&B and soul side, but then I ran into this guy Ronald Beasley, and he was really deep into the funk, like super. I mean, he was like so deep into the funk. He'd walk in the room and it would be the funk. He'd be like, the funk
real
is
funk.
here.
Yeah, the real funk. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So,
you know how they got that name? You know how George Clinton got that name? I'm gonna give you a little bit of advice, man, on your group.
Okay.
Okay. The P-Funk comes from the fact that they would spend so many days and so many hours.
I heard about that. I thought that was a rumor.
No, he said I seen a documentary where he said they spent so many hours and so many days inside these rooms that it was so, you know what I'm saying, that it was so funky, and then somebody just walked in there and said P-U, and there
P-Funk.
The P-Funk, the bomb.
and you know what? I can, not to lie, I can kind of relate with that, because there would be times where me and Bees we would just stay up for days.
Caught up in the creative realm.
And days would just roll in, and we'd be like, man, we need to stop and take baths and do whatever. He'd be like, this is the funk. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, all right, okay. Yeah.
What do you say, Cam?
This is the funk. But yeah, he was definitely a major influence in my life. Though he's local from Seattle, whatever, he was definitely a major figure.
On Beasley?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How long you been knowing him, man?
Man, I've been knowing Beasley since I was probably in high school, so it's been forever.
Yeah. He's been in a couple of groups too, man.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day.
Oh, he was one of the boppers too.
Yeah, he was one of the boppers. I think, didn't he rap with the Chill Will 3? It was the West Coast Funk Brigade. Funk Brigade. 3D, or was it? I think it was. Maybe it's just them too.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give you, when I can, I'm gonna give you some footage of one of my shows.
Yeah.
Because to this day, when I bop, that's like one of the highlights of the whole show. And what they don't understand is it's just something that we all did back in the day. But see, to the audience, they think like they're thinking like, wow, how did this R&B dude just break out and do all that? Because it's more of an unexpected thing.
Yeah, but you're an original b-boy, and people don't
exactly.
understand it. So when they get a taste of it, it throws them
right. But back in our day, it was nothing, because it was like I was just one of the dozens of kings of popping and all that.
Hey, have you heard from Leland?
You were definitely one of the kings.
Yeah.
Leland was definitely one of the kings. Yeah. James Kroom was one of the kings.
Yeah. James Kroom ate me up. I ain't afraid to admit it, man. He ate me up, man, one day and made me walk away from the crowd with my big old radio, the Pac Jam playing. He scorched me on Pac Jam.
Well,
man.
I got news for you. He ate me up too. and it wasn't right, because it was after I retired.
Yeah.
For like several years, and my boys they set it up, and I was like, man, I'm not gonna be bopping, man.
Yeah.
And, this and that, and they sicked them on me, man. And I said I wasn't gonna do it, and I had retired or whatever.
Yeah.
But then something about bopping, you got this feeling overcomes you where you think that you can. I thought like a movie overcame me and said, I can do this. Yeah. And I started doing it, and I lost. That's basically. But now, you know what? I just basically returned to an old love. I basically seen Usher and Chris Brown and them guys doing some of the same stuff that we used to do. So I'm like, okay, let me just go ahead and refine that, and of course, work out. You have to work out and train to keep up with that, and get back into that spirit and respect it as an art, because it definitely was an art. And
it was a culture.
It was a culture.
We did that every day.
It was part of our life. It really was.
Right. Between the music, the art, the graffiti or whatnot, and the dancing.
You're right.
The whole thing. It was a complete culture, man. And you and people like me and Beasley, Captain Crunch, James Kroon, and all them guys, man, we were actually the OGs of this.
Yeah,
we were real pioneers, because we're the originals.
Right.
Because we were the ones that started doing it, and then after us, it kind of, it took on a little bit of life, but then it faded out.
It did. It really did.
You know,
it
and
really
then
did.
you know, but then you know, you got people who actually really went to school. I never really thought about that until just now.
Yeah.
They actually really went to school to learn the things that we worked on daily and taught ourselves.
No, you know what? I've seen that. I've seen like this hip hop class where they were teaching like the stuff that we always did. They were like, you take your arm and you make a wave, and I'm like, what? They're teaching this like that? I'm like, wow. Yeah. But I tell you this, that is definitely an art that I'm glad I picked back up, because when I see people react off it like that and it gets the same props as everything else that I do, then I just love it, because it just shows that we were all part of a really good art. You know?
Yeah,